today I've got a good friend of mine, about to be a good friend of mine.
Yes,
We've met a few times.
We can be good friends.
Yeah. We met through our friend Josh. This is Brian Clark. He is an expert chef, model, fitness guru.
Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're excited because he's going to teach us how to make some blondies. We're also in this video going to be talking about our first. So we both grew up Mormon and gay. Our first kiss with the guy, our first date with the guy. We're going to be talking about all the drama. He's got a TV show that he's going to be in that's coming out next Monday. So what day is Monday?
Yeah, the 11th of May.
The 11th.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be on the Food Network. It's called Bakeaway Camp with Martha Stewart. It's going to be kind of like Great British Bake Off. It's all outside. It's a $25,000 prize at the end.
I saw the commercial. You should all look it up. But it's like 6 of America's most ambitious bakers, and you're one of them. It's so cool.
Really was the coolest experience of my life.
Wow. Well, I am so excited to watch it, and you guys should all watch it too.
Yes, it'll also be on the Food Network app. So if you don't have the Food Network channel, or cable, you can look it up on the Food Network Go app, and it is free there. So you'll be able to download it and watch it.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So let's get started. So again, we're making blondies. If you don't know, it's pretty much a brownie without the chocolate. So you still get the chewy, you still get the gooey, but it's more about the vanilla rather than the chocolate. And I thought that would be a fun thing for spring going into summer. They're not hard to make, they're really simple. But in this case, we're gonna do them up a little bit, and we're gonna add some lemon, and we're also gonna add some blueberries to make it more of the spring feel. So we're gonna start off first by creaming some butter and some sugar. I've got 2 sticks of butter here, or 1 cup. I get the unsalted butter, and then I add the salt in. If you're baking, definitely use kosher salt. It's way better than iodized. Do you bake at all?
Honestly, no.
No?
I cook. I make a lot of like fish and vegetable dinners.
What kind of fish do you like to cook?
Salmon and mahi-mahi, tilapia, cod. I love cod. I eat a lot of tuna too.
That's really interesting because we don't live anywhere near like seafood.
So did you serve a mission? I know you.
Yes, I
Okay,
did serve a mission.
I feel like that's part of the reason I like fish is because I served in Alaska.
Oh,
so where did you
teach
serve?
me your fish ways?
Yeah.
I served in Uruguay in South America, so it's just south of Brazil. No one's really ever heard of it.
Yeah.
They call it like it's like the armpit of South America. Okay, yeah. So a cup of butter, and then this is 3/4 of a cup of sugar. This is granulated. I have been baking since I was like 7 years old. It's evolved over time.
So was it like your mom? Did she bake a lot? That like. Or did your dad? Or like, what made you into it? Oh, no.
So I come from a big family. There's 9 kids in my family.
I come from a big family too.
You do?
Not 9.
How many?
Only 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where are you in the?
I'm the youngest.
Oh. I'm almost the youngest.
Almost
I'm the 8th.
No. Have you heard like the statistics about like gay men being the youngest in the family?
Well, yeah. So it's like and also if they're multiple births, you're more likely to be gay too. Because I'm a triplet as well.
Are you really?
So yeah. And
what?
So my sister would bake a lot, one of my older sisters, and I just thought it was so fun. Whenever you're creaming butter and sugar, it should look lighter and fluffier. That's when you know it's done. So I would say after like 3 to 4 minutes, when it gets like a lighter color and looks more fluffy, that's when you know it's been creamed. We're gonna add some lemon zest into these blondies. Actually, a lot of the flavor lives in the zest itself. So yeah, we're gonna add some lemon zest along with lemon juice. So yeah, this is a zester here. It's a microplane.
Let's start with your first crush.
It was the SBO president. I had just started 10th grade and we had like a welcome ceremony. He was speaking and I was just like, oh, he is so handsome. And he had that like commanding voice. And I remember going home at night and just like daydreaming about it. But it felt so wrong at the same time too, because I was like, wait, what is this? But like, he's so cute. And he had like the most adorable smile. Like, smiles get me. Like if you have a good smile, like
makes a huge difference. All right, let's see. My first crush wasn't even a real person.
Oh really?
And I remember thinking Cyclops was so attractive.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably good there. So yeah, that's a good amount of zest, and then we're just gonna add that here into the batter, and then we've got 1 egg as well. So
awesome.
We'll add that in here. And then we're gonna cream this a little bit more. I used to think that about Aladdin.
Aladdin.
I have the biggest crush on Aladdin.
I have heard that with so many gay guys, actually. Aladdin was
He's
hot
like,
stuff.
he was like a rebel, but he had like the six-pack and like
I could see it.
he was a charmer.
Aladdin's cute.
I just got, so this is just like my little juicer here, super cheap. Okay. But you could also use, if you didn't have one, like you could use a fork. But you do need a Zest.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a lot of that going on the show I went on. That was
a lot
like
of Zest.
a lot of the, like, it's just funny. If you ever watch like the baking shows, they're always like, you need more of this flavor, and like more of that. And like I will say, like one of the times it was like, you need more lemon flavor. If you think you have enough, you don't. So we need a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and this is 2 1/4 cup of flour. So this part, I'm just gonna put it on stir. Let's add a little bit in at a time, and that way you're not overworking the dough. We're gonna add a little bit of vanilla.
Sounds great.
And then it is gonna be really pretty thick, which is what you want. We got some thick batter. So I'm gonna add in some white chocolate chips as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. I have some guitar, but you can use whatever white chocolate chips you want. I'm gonna add in just about 3/4 of a cup here. I'm gonna add some of this blueberry sauce. I made this earlier today. It's just fresh blueberries with some salt, some sugar, and cornstarch. Yeah, so I just dolloped this, and now I just have a wooden skewer here. Okay. You could use a knife if you want, but basically I'm just gonna run this through. Just a fun way to change something up.
So tell me about your first date with a guy.
I came out when I was at BYU, which is the University for Mormons. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say for Mormons, but predominantly Mormons. You can't be really like openly gay and dating and go to school there and stay within their honor code. Yeah. But I did it anyways.
You can get like kicked out of
You could get kicked out. So I was also teaching at their like training center for missionaries, for Mormon missionaries.
You taught at the missionary training center?
I taught at the MTC, their missionary training center. And so, and it happened to be another teacher at the missionary training center. Are you serious? Yeah, so what? We were, and that blew my mind to begin with too. I was like, there's another teacher that's also gay that was just teaching here. We just grabbed dinner. I was so nervous to say anything and do anything. Like part of it was just like I was more so like waiting to see how they acted and what they did, because it's like I haven't had any exposure to like other gay men before openly.
It was while you guys were teaching there?
I didn't teach there for much longer. I couldn't keep that up for very long.
I was Sunday school president when I first started dating guys.
Oh, isn't it fun?
Journey.
I love it though. Like the more I'm out and just kind of owning my sexuality and owning who I am, like the more you realize that like we're all worthy of love. Like
absolutely.
There are also things we all feel like we want to hide about ourselves too, and that we feel shame about, and there's no reason to, like we all, again, it goes back, like there's nothing wrong with you. And then that's it, we're gonna put this in the oven.
All right, my first date, we went to like a sushi place, and I was so nervous. I'm sure you felt the same way going on a date, like after being so heavily LDS, and I like parked outside the sushi place. I almost got cold feet. I was like, I could stop all of this right now and like go home and go back in the closet and like marry a nice girl. I almost didn't go in, and he like sent me this text. I was like, hey, I'm here. Are you coming, or are you close? And I was just like, oh. I felt bad thinking about me not showing up and just like ditching out last minute. And that's kind of what like pushed me through. But I'm glad I did, because I mean, I would be divorced with 2 children by now.
Which is also okay too. Sometimes it takes people later in life to come out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What was your first gay kiss?
Yeah. First kiss with a guy.
I just remember. I actually haven't really like thought about this till now. So
sounds like it's gonna be a good story.
Yeah. So I went onto Match.com because they had like this like free 30-day trial thing.
Okay.
And I somehow matched up with this guy in California, and was talking to this guy, and he just decided one day to fly out here. And he's like, hey, by the way, I bought a ticket. I'm going to come see you. And I was like, oh, okay.
Whoa.
So, like,
That's some serious business.
I was like, okay, we're going to like play this off. So like he came and met my roommate. So I was still at BYU at the time. So I was like, this is my friend that I've never met before, but he's just here for the weekend. And we went up to Sundance. If you've ever been to Sundance up in Park City. And we went and saw a show there. And I remember we were like in this like pergola area at night. It was like winter time. There were lights everywhere. Emotions were everywhere. And I remember kissing him and I was like, oh, this is so different.
Yeah, no, I remember thinking the same thing. My first kiss is actually the person that we both are friends with. So
oh, Josh?
Josh, yeah.
He was your first kiss?
He was my first kiss.
No
guy.
way.
That's how new it was to me. Like,
I've never asked Josh about his kissing. Tell me.
I don't know how much he wants to be sharing on my channel. But I remember thinking like, this feels so right, and like there's no going back.
Gay firsts.
I remember my first time snuggling with a guy. I just remember it being so fun and feeling so right, but also so confusing. Because you're like, do I put my arm around them, or do they put their arm around me, or like you just overthink everything. At least I did.
Yeah, I don't remember my first gay snuggle. So I had so much Mormon guilt. So
it was like harder.
It was like, so even like after that first experience, like there was so much. It felt so good. And I was like, this is great. But I was like, there was still like this strong desire to like follow the Mormon thing. So it was just. Like, it was very hard. Like, it's amazing. Like, it's still a hard transition to go from, like, I'm this devout, Mormon boy and trying to do the right thing by their standards, and I'm also feeling this way. You have to go through it. Like, it's necessary.
A lot of people that I've talked to who are raised LDS and are gay, like, talk about that guilt a lot, which I definitely felt that way, like, growing up when I thought somebody was attractive who was a guy. But the interesting thing for me was like after kissing somebody for the first time or after snuggling with somebody for the first time, like there was so much anticipation where I was thinking, I'm going to hate myself after this. Yeah. But then I didn't, which I realize, I totally recognize it's not that way for everybody.
I've been out for 8 years now, and I have to be honest, like even over the last couple of years, have I really come to terms with owning my sexuality. Like and that's, I think, an interesting thing to remember about coming out. Like, it is a process, and it's different for everyone.
I mean, there definitely have been moments
amazing,
of guilt,
though. Like,
but like, I just realized that I was so happy.
You were so much happy.
Like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Everyone's experience is so different, and like, I still had like a really happy childhood, and I didn't have terrible experiences with the church, but I can totally sympathize with people and see how it would be so tough to like, I don't know. I can see where the guilt came from, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, no, you have to have compassion for yourself. Any kind of coming out process, whatever it is, there's going to be difficulty, and we handle difficulty differently. But yeah, I feel you at the same time. Like, I love my upbringing as a Mormon. I loved going to BYU. I have no regrets about it. Yeah. I think you just, at the end of the day, you have to constantly remind yourself that you do deserve happiness, you do deserve love, and whatever that feels like for you is okay. And I feel like also something that I realized is that it's just, I heard this on a podcast recently too. Oh, okay. That's why I realized it. Okay. It's because I heard it from somebody else. There's a podcast called Husband-in-Law, but it's about this woman who marries a guy. They were both LDS. He was gay, and they got a divorce. And it's them just talking about their whole experience of him coming out and then starting to date other men and their divorce. And something that they said in there that like really stood out to me is that it's more important to be a good person than to be affiliated with any like denomination, which is something I like 1000% agree with. Is like, it's so crucial, so much more important to be like a good person than to be like affiliated with a certain religious group. Let's see, what other firsts can we think of? Gay. Like, that's not too risque. That's PG. Yeah. Do you remember like your first online dating conversation with somebody? I don't know if that's PG.
So I think we're there. So we've got like the crispy edges, and then it's still just a gooey enough in the middle. So I think we're good. Okay. Let's pull these out. to eat.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Cut them up. Normally I would let these sit longer to like fully set, but we're not gonna wait that long, so it'll be a little more gooey than normal. When you bake with Martha Stewart, you're still up against time. So you have to present when you have to present. Look at that. Like you can see how nice and gooey it is still in there. You can see the chocolate, and then you have the top with the blueberry. Tell me what you think.
So good. You can taste the lemon so well, and the blueberry, and the doughy part is like the perfect consistency.
Yes.
Can I take a piece of the bacon?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, yeah, well, I'll give you some to take home.
Thank you so much for doing this. We hadn't seen each other in like a year
been a
at
while.
least. And it was crazy timing because you are about to go on the show. So
Yeah,
everybody
watch
like,
the show.
Yeah, watch the show.
It's
You
gonna
can
be
also
fun.
follow him on Instagram, Brian Clark.
Yeah, bclark_Ken.
And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.